Hello, mamas, supportive partners, and other powerful forces of nature. It is Hurricane Hannah here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to share with you the tips on how I overcame nausea and fatigue in order to find the energy to exercise. Before we begin, I just want to remind you I am not a doctor, I am just a fitness professional, so take everything that I say with a grain of salt and always consult your doctor before changing your exercise or diet routine. If you want some good maternity content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Otherwise, let's get on to the video. Being someone who teaches exercise for a living, I really had to overcome fatigue and nausea in order to continue doing my job. I'm going to share with you the ways that I figured out how to overcome fatigue and nausea in order to exercise day to day throughout my first trimester. So first, let's talk about fatigue. Pregnancy makes you feel very moody, very tired, and like you don't want to do anything all day. Now, my first tip is don't always listen to your body. I know that is the opposite of what I usually say, but here's why. When you lay in bed all day, it does not make you feel less fatigued. It does not make you feel less sick, and quite frankly, it gave me the feeling that I was creeping toward depression. Now, depression is something that I really overcame with exercise a while back, and feeling that same feeling was really difficult for me, but I knew that there was only one way to avoid that, and it was exercise. The first thing I did is, instead of listening to my body, I would get out of bed and I would try and do something. I found that on the days I did exercise, I actually had an elevated mood, I felt like I wanted to do more, and I felt less sick, probably because exercise helped me be able to poop. So, I did realize that not listening to your body in that way was one of the best ways to overcome that fatigue. And on the days when I was forced to go to work and teach exercise, I would leave the house feeling like a sad snail moving through molasses, but I would always come back feeling so much better than I had before. So I know it's hard when you're feeling that fatigue, but one of the best things you can do is push through and try and get a little movement. And that brings me to my second tip, which is start small and slow. So on the days when you're really feeling like you can't do anything, just try and do something. Anything. On the days when I felt like I couldn't get out of bed, I would try just a 15-minute walk with my dog, and that made me feel like I had so much more endorphins. The sunshine outside, spending time with my pup, watching him be so happy, made me feel like I had more energy. 15 minutes is not a lot, right? But it was something that made a huge difference, and it is something that will still really help with your digestion, your blood pressure, your sleep, pretty much everything that is really difficult during pregnancy. And on the days when I could do a little more, I did a little prenatal yoga. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, built it up to 45 minutes on certain days, and by the time I got to my second trimester, I was finally able to get back into real strength and cardio training. And that brings me to tip number 3, which is a bit controversial. In my first trimester, I was really scared of drinking any coffee. I think over those 13 weeks, I had probably like 5 cups total. That also really contributed to the not being able to do anything, laying in bed all day, etc. So by the time my second trimester came around, I wasn't so afraid of a miscarriage, so I decided to start drinking coffee. I talked to my doctor first just to get a recommendation. She said 90 milligrams a day is considered safe, and so I stick to 65 milligrams every day. 1 shot of espresso, and I drink it with food over about an hour period, so I don't just down it all at once. So even that little bit of coffee made me not only want to exercise more, but it also helped me do things like laundry, dishes, dealing with the daily activities of life, making videos, right? It gave me a lot more energy. And because I hadn't been drinking it for so long, 65 milligrams made a big effect. So talk to your doctor and see if coffee might be a good option for you. Alright, so let's talk about nausea. My first tip with nausea is snacks and crackers. So what I had to do during first trimester is I had to make sure I had a snack with me at all times, no matter where I went, and I had to eat a snack every hour on the hour. That is something that made my nausea so much less intense. It didn't curb it from happening all the time, but I could definitely tell when I skipped a snack versus when I had one, my nausea was 10 times worse when I was hungry. And this is another thing for waking up. When you've gone 8 hours without eating something, your nausea is the worst, hence morning sickness, right? For me, I would keep crackers by my bed, and starting my day with 5 crackers and some water really made me get out of bed. And then I could go make breakfast, not feeling quite as nauseous, and I was able to kind of get on with my day. I took crackers with me everywhere because that is the only thing I could eat when I was really having a terrible bout of nausea. And as for working out, I would have a snack right before I worked out, a snack right after I worked out, and even sometimes I would eat a snack while I was working out. This is where that low and slow comes in too, because if you're doing something higher intensity and you just had a snack, you might get acid reflux, you might vomit, right? Things we don't want. So if you do eat during your workout or right before, take it easy. Make sure that you are doing a moderate level that is right for you. Tip number 2, sipping water. One of the worst things that you can do in your pregnancy is be dehydrated. It's bad for the baby, it's bad for you, and it will make you feel more nauseous. What I would recommend is before a workout, make sure you drink at least a glass of water, because that is going to make you feel a little more hydrated. As you go through that workout, I want you to take sips of water throughout the entire exercise, and at the end, I want you to try and have 1 more glass of water. Staying hydrated through that whole workout is going to help you feel less nauseous, and it is really good for you and baby. Make sure you're not chugging water, because chugging water can make your tummy upset too, and that is not what we want. Tip number 3 is peppermint and ginger tea. Now, if you watched my other video about things to avoid during pregnancy, you will know that tea is one of those dangerous areas where we are not quite sure what is safe. Make sure that your tea only has the ingredients peppermint, ginger, and fennel is okay in small amounts. When you are checking out the grocery store, make sure that your teas are very pure, make sure they are extracted from real ginger. If the tea is not enough, you can eat straight up real ginger. That is something that is supposed to cure nausea. But for me, the tea worked best. And I would recommend limiting your tea intake to less than 4 cups per day, because again, these herbs can negatively affect your pregnancy. Normally, after 1 or 2 cups of teas within the hour, I would be feeling good enough to exercise. Again, your tummy's gonna be kind of full of liquid, so low and slow is really good on those days where you are super nauseous, full of tea, full of water, and full of crackers. Those are my tips on how I curbed nausea and fatigue in order to stay healthy and continue to exercise during my first trimester especially. If you are nauseous for your whole pregnancy, these tips are still going to work for you, but I know first trimester can be especially difficult. And as a final reminder, I just want you to know that you are so strong, so much stronger than you think, and you will get through this. A little bit of movement every day is so much better than nothing. Everything counts. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you are making a baby, then I want you to like and subscribe and turn on that notifications bell so you'll know when I post another video. Just remember, you are creating a life, and that makes you powerful even in the moments when you may feel weak. I love you all. I hope you have beautiful workouts and a great pregnancy. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.